So yeah, all right, we're going to jump out of that for a second, and we're going to jump into another thing that's very close to your heart: music. Music. One of them chapters of the Yipes Bible that you just know is one of them things that without it, you don't even know what world would look like. You understand what I'm saying? So first step here, right, is, okay, New York, I don't know, it's just a hotbed for amazing talent. You know, New York has produced some of the finest of all time. I don't care any generation, you pick a decade, New York is up there. You know, it's up there, right? Especially if we're talking about that very heavy late 80s, early 90s, you know, no, like it's crazy, right? It's just what is fire, straight fire. So right out the gate, who would be your top 5 New York hip hop artists of all? I know it's a hard one, man. I know it's a tough one.
New York.
Top 5. Yeah. I mean, I thought about it because there's too many, right? But so top 5 New York hip hop artists of all time. Of all time. Because there's mad names in there. There's mad names in there. Like, it's a long ass list. You know.
So off the rip, all right. off the rip, I'm not gonna name too many albums, but this person I'm gonna go into detail.
Okay.
Off the rip is Nas, number 1, New York City. So just to give you a little insight of my top 5, I was heavily influenced by Queen's music. So like Queens would be like Nas, Mobb Deep.
Yeah, Prodigy. Yep.
Yeah, my guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, shouts to Prodigy, man.
LL Cool J. You know what I'm saying? Nature, Cormega.
Yep.
Who else? There was a couple of Big Noid. You know what I'm saying?
Were you a Big L fan?
Yes, he's from Harlem. Fuck
yeah, because Big L is my dude. Like, he's sick. Like, he didn't really have that. He didn't really have that kind of. He didn't really have that kind of. Yeah. He didn't really have that kind of album. But like, you know, that mainstream pop. But he had some sick tracks. But he had some bars, man.
Yo, let me tell you this. Just to give you a little lore, bro. Just to give you some gems. This is off the record. You will never hear this in social media and stuff like that. Back in the day when I was in the hood and Big L was heavy. You know, before he passed, may rest in peace. But he was heavy on the streets when it came to just rap in general. Now I remember I had homies that was in Harlem that would hit me up, like they would visit my neighborhood. It was like, yo, man, I just finished Big L being involved in a rap battle. He was smoking them and shit like that. I'm like, wow, battles like that was bro.
Did he battle like? I didn't even know he battled like that.
Yeah, he was battling dudes in Harlem. Like, yo, bro, you want smoke? Come holla at me. Like, it was one of those type of stuff. Like, you know, it was street vibes back in the day, so like I'm pretty sure there was some actual money involved. You know, that's just a Harlem thing. I'm not from Harlem, but I'm from Washington Heights. Harlem is pretty home to us. Like, you know, they we house them when they come and show love, and vice versa. You know what I'm saying? So it's love. But yeah, I would hear from my homies back in Harlem when I would meet them in school. They would be like, yo, man, Big L just had a crazy battle with such and such and such. I gotta remember the names. It was like dudes from the street that rap too. Apparently Big L was eating them up, and this is like right around the line when he was still getting signed and stuff like that. But we knew about him. You know what I'm saying? So like, it was crazy, bro. Like, it was crazy just hearing those stories, and I'm in the neighborhood. You know what I mean? Like, this is something you ain't gonna find out in social media. But I'm pretty sure there's something out there where there people talking about Big L battling in the streets. But yeah, man, Big L, of course. That's one of your guys. I didn't know that was your man.
Big L, man. He's just comical, man. He just gives me comedy for days because he'll say shit straight up. Like, he doesn't water anything down because it sounds nicer. He just says what he thinks, and I always appreciate him for that. I was always a bit sad about his demise, you know, with his older brother being inside, and then the money situation, and him kind of getting, you know, caught up in the middle of that. It's always sad, especially when it's about a brother, because you hear that kind of thing all the time. It's like, oh, again, okay. You know, but then it hurts even worse when it's about a man who has such profound talent in something. You know, you really feel the waste of that. You know, of that spirit, of that energy force on the planet. You know, that's gone now. There's nothing you can do about it. You know, so yeah, it's painful, man. But oh man, I think it was like Lifestyles of the Poor and Dangerous. I think that was one of his. The tunes on there, man. Oh mate,
my favorite line from, not to cut you off, I'm sorry.
All good.
The Jay-Z Big L freestyle. He said, yo, I got slugs for snitches, no love for bitches, putting thugs in ditches when my trigger figure itches.
Yes.
I got a rep to make police sweat. No, I never beg for pussy like Keith Sweat. Yo, that I was like, dog, this guy's on another galaxy, bro.
Yep.
Like,
yep.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man.
Too fire, man. Too fire. I think he's always been kind of goated as one of the punchline kings, though, right?
Ridiculous.
But, you know, because he'll say stuff that will hit you and it will get you to think as well. You know, like it's the double whammy. You know, you'll just be like, ooh, you know, you're kind of digesting it. So yeah.
Man.
What about like Ghostface Killer and Method Man and Wu-Tang? Because
all right, let me know.
Okay. I'm jumping in. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So Nas #1, and so the first album I ever heard for real, it was
it was written.
It was 2 actually.
Yeah.
No, just in terms of just hip hop in general.
Oh, in general?
It was an EPMD album.
Ooh, oh my God, EPMD featuring LL Cool J, Rampage was the shit.
Bro,
the remix.
Eric and Parrish making dollars. There was a lot of fire joints, right? The Dr. Dre Chronic album, the first one. Let me see which one I remember too. Mobb Deep, Juvenile Hell.
Yes.
And those were the albums that introduced me to hip hop. Oh, and KRS-One. There was a song, I had it on a tape. It was literally a tape with just one song. You had the instrumental in the background. And
I remember those.
On side B,
yeah, I remember those.
B, and then on side A, you actually had the song.
With the lyrics,
called, it was called "Love's Gonna Get You." I remember that song. That one, I remember hearing him and just his attitude and his cadence. I'm like, God damn, KRS-One is the shit. Boogie Down Productions. I'm like, that shit like that is what linked me into hip hop rap. And obviously, like we all knew Michael Jackson. I was doing trying to do his dances at least. But you know, and stuff like that. But like those 3 was the ones that opened up the wormhole, that I went deeper into the rabbit hole, that I was like, holy shit, this guy's nice, this guy's nice. But then I find myself really getting in tune with Wu-Tang Clan and most of the Queens rappers, mainly Nas and Mobb Deep. You know what I'm saying? So #1 Nas, off of the strength of Illmatic, only because I actually felt like I got to know Nas as a human being in that album.
Right.
And the fact that he was just that much of a wordsmith, and mind you, I didn't know this type of lingo at the time, but just generally just feeling off of emotion and stuff like that, just hearing what he got to say, you know, especially like on New York State of Mind, and just, you know what I mean, like all the
New York State of Mind, yo. Give me a Smith & Wesson, I have undressing, yo, that tune is fire, man.
You see what I'm saying? And mind you, a lot of the shit that he was saying, he was really our like hood newscaster. So like some of the shit that he said, I've seen these things. Like, oh my, holy shit, yeah, I've seen guys get robbed. I've seen people selling drugs. Like, yo, he's really was that newscaster in such a poetic and genius way that I'm like, yo, like it's crazy. Like One Love, the fact that he's talking about his homie locked up and stuff like that, letting him know what's going on the outside to the inside. Like, yo, that shit is crazy to me, because at that time, you know, music was so fresh. And mind you, I had Illmatic on tape.
The cassette,
like, yo, hold on. And mind you, when I'm young, I gravitated to the bar, sure, but the beats was just so amazing. You know what I mean? Like Pete Rock, you had DJ Premier and that shit.
Oh yeah.
And a couple of other folks. You know what I'm saying? I think what's this other guy's name? The professor. I forgot his name. Professor. I forgot his name. But anyway, the beats is what really gravitated to me. So like as I got wiser and older to the point where I can understand this language known as hip hop and just bars and stuff, everything even hit harder. The more I aged with the album, I'm like, holy shit, I can't believe I missed this the first time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's true, man.
Yeah. And then Nas, so Nas, and obviously like you know, with Illmatic, it was written. I literally have every single one of his albums, so it's one of those.
Okay, so Nas at the top, Nas #1. Number two. Oh, Professor Griff.
Nah, his name is Large Professor.
Large Professor. Okay.
Yes. There you go. It's like just you saying it made me.
Yeah. So Nas at the top, #1.
So another one is he is actually from New York City, so that's why he's in this list.
Yeah.
Number 2 is Tupac.
Okay, he is from New York. Yeah.
Tupacalypse Now was a fire album. He's literally was the first one that really let me know what an artist was. Like, obviously he was very heavy in rap, but him being poetic with it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, his cadence and being poetic and really talking about his struggles. Like, I learned more about African American struggle from Tupac. I didn't even know this from my own teachers in school. Like, you know, obviously a lot of the history books, it's a lot of bullshit, and you know,
they don't cover the real stuff.
Yeah, it's a little whitewash. Like, I'm gonna just throw it out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but,
for sure.
Tupac gave me the gems about, you know, slavery, the Black Panther movement, just everything that was going on in the streets that I could relate to. Obviously, I wasn't living in it like he was, but like just him going through it and letting me know again, like they was pretty much our fathers and our newscasters as well. You know what I'm saying? In terms of what they was teaching us. Pac opened up that avenue for me in my mind, opened up that chamber, if you will, of talking about you know, the poetic side, but more so being the artist. Like, he could switch it up and be gangster, he could switch it up and be poetic, you know what I'm saying? And he could switch it up sometimes when he really feel like it be lyrical. A lot of people don't think that he's lyrical, but he really can be freaking lyrical.
It's interesting. Yeah. No, I totally agree.
Yeah, man. So Tupac number 2.
Okay.
Number 3. And this is when, and it's crazy because I've heard so much KG rap. This don't make sense. I actually don't remember his tracks because I actually burnt out listening to this guy. Number 3 would be Kool Rap. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Kool Rap was the first guy that really taught me about metaphors and similes. So like, he'll say something like something silly, something willy. Like, he'd be like, what he said, champagne wizards and caviar dreams of penis getting cream, the fish scale and triple beans. I'm living the life of rally, pack of 50 Cali, like little shit like that. Rally, Cali. I was like, I'm like, oh, this guy's rhyming. You know what I'm saying? Like stuff like that is what really made me realize about the metaphorical side and stuff like that. Like, holy shit, this guy's fucking ridiculous. Right? So Kool Rap number 3. Number 4, I could say Mobb Deep. I'm gonna just say Mobb Deep. Only because like I'm more of a fan of Prodigy than Havoc. Havoc was more so on the production side, and it's crazy because I seen an interview like a few days ago actually where Prodigy would say that Havoc was better than him, and I'm like, I don't know about that. Prodigy. Havoc was good. Yeah. Havoc was good, but like, I don't know about that, Prodigy. Yeah. He was saying, he was like, it was an interview talking about like, yeah, yo son, they were setting up a battle with me and Nas. You know how he be talking, he was setting up a battle with me and Nas. You know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. And I heard the kid, and he was dope. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was better than me, blah blah. And then you know, he got deep into the story, but apparently, you know, there was a guy that apparently was better than Nas, and his name was called Mega. He was in jail. Like, it was some deep story. Like, go check that. I'll send you the link later. But like, it was real like into detail. So, but yeah, Prodigy. I never heard a voice like that.
Right.
It was just so deep. I heard pain. I heard the rasp, and it was him. Like, I knew it was him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he wasn't trying to like be anyone else. It was just him, you know what I'm saying? And when I heard the HNIC album, I was like, okay, this is Prodigy. This is Prodigy. Yeah, like the shit that he was spinning was crazy, man. So Prodigy for sure, my number 4. Number 5, I'm glad that you said New York rappers.
Yeah, it's a good topic. It's his own little world, right? So yeah.
Number 5, I would just have to say the whole Wu-Tang Clan. And if I had to pick
okay.
Mostly the killers that I was really listening to was Old Dirty Bastard, Method Man, Old Dirty Bastard, Method Man, Raekwon, Ghostface. But the most respected lyrical pen spitter, just spit in general, was Inspector Deck. Like, obviously Inspector Deck didn't have like a crazy catalog to really like throw it out there, but I knew when Inspector Deck was in the booth with them guys and they seen that he was spitting, I know he was the guy that put everybody on notice, like, yo, y'all gotta step your shit up. I just bodied y'all. So I know Method Man was in the booth like, oh my God, I can't believe I gotta rap after that. Like, it was one of those. So like, you could tell the competitiveness was there. You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously I love from Ghostface, I love the Iron Man album. You know what I mean? I love Supreme Clientele. That shit was ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Supreme Clientele. Nutmeg is actually one of my favorite songs in that, for those that's, you know, listening. Raekwon's Immobilarity, obviously the only building link. I actually had the purple tape, bro. I had the purple tape. I robbed it from my brother, obviously. I ain't had it, you know what I mean? But I was sneaking out of his collection, like, let me let us to that Cuban link. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so Yeah, Old Dirty Bastard, Raekwon, Ghostface, Method Man, Inspector Deck for sure. Master Killer was good. RZA was good, but I know RZA was more on the production side. But you know, Old Dirty Bastard, he was such a weirdo. Like he was the first guy that I remember like really just being himself. Like, for real. Like for like just to give you a little guy's reference, just listen to Brooklyn Zoo and that'll literally let you know. But he was so intelligent in the way that he would represent himself when he do you know, like interviews and stuff like that. So, you know, rest in peace to him. I actually have a funny story about Old Dirty Bastard. I actually seen him in person back in like 2002. He was literally in my neighborhood with a tank top on, with one sandal on. So I don't know what the fuck was going on. I don't know if he was in the studio, he wanted to go to the store, but I seen him. We was just like, yo, that's Old Dirty Bastard. We seen him on Dykeman, bro. I swear to God. And we just, we didn't even question it. I just remembered. I was like, that's Old Dirty fucking Bastard. But yeah, that's to round it up now. And obviously the honorable mentions would be like Biggie, Rakim, Big Daddy Kane. You know what I'm saying? East Coast rappers like Redman is in my actual like top 5 of all time.
I used to love Blackout. I used to love that Blackout album with Redman and Method Man. I used to rinse that. That had some tunes on it, boy. Oh my word.
Muddy Waters, man. I'm just giving you guys reference. I can sit here all day and spit these bars. You know what I mean? But yeah, I will have to round that off. That would be my top 5.
Okay, I like that. That's nice. I mean, so it's a little different to what I would pick. So just to give you a bit of background, coming up, I was definitely someone who was into, because I did drums. I played drums in high school. I was a drummer. So beats was one of my things, and lyrics, deep lyrics was one of my callings, you know. So I would say that on the top of my list, I'm going to put Biggie Smalls at the top for his lyricism, his charm, his swagger, his authority, and his legacy. Okay, I'm going to put him there for that. Now, Tupac, as you mentioned, was very good at engaging your mind in the imagery of black suffering. He was very good at it. He was very skilled at giving you the picture. He'll break it down for you deep. The suffering. Biggie Smalls was very good at showing you how a black man can elevate, how to rise up. Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis. When I was dead broke, man, I couldn't picture this. 50-inch screen, money green leather sofa. Got 2 rides, a limousine with a chauffeur. My phone bill about 2 G's flat. No need to worry, my accountant handles that. And my whole crew is lounging, celebrating every day. No more public housing. You know, and I can't sing and can't do his accent, and I have zero voice. But growing up, you know, hearing his portrayal of success, you know, especially coming out the projects, it was always so magical. Yeah, you know, and he kind of goes into the elevation of coming from a poor place and now being successful, you know. Then we drink champagne when we're thirsty, you know, and it's like it's about how you've come out of the poor part and you're successful now and life is good, you know.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, and so I would say Biggie Smalls. Second, I would say Nas, because of his influence in my life during college, you know, like just all of his stuff, man. There's that It Was Written joint, like just If I Ruled the World, like empowerment, you know, it's about confidence, you know, and it helped me as a young black man growing up in London. You know, London is a very mixed city, but it's also a very, in its own right, kind of white dominated as well. So for me, that was something that gave me some identity, right? You know, I didn't grow up with a male figure at home. I didn't grow up with a dad. I didn't grow up with any strong male influence. So, you know, you kind of look outwards for that. You kind of try and find somewhere that you can snuggle into and feel like it's home, you know, and music was that for me. Music was the centerpiece for my internal serenity. So I had to have that. Right? And yeah, so Biggie Smalls, Nas. Third, I would say Canibus. He's from New York, and this man is one of the greatest lyricists of all time. Canibus, bro.
My God. Oh my God.
Canibus.
Ryan fucking Hart.
Canibus.
What he said, my style of rhyming is ancient like Aztecs and Mayans, because I recognize it's all about time.
Oh, man.
Timing. Me and my freestyle alliance practicing African food
With the science, yeah, he had bars, man.
Bonfires, looking skyward, calculating May 5th, 2009, planets to be the alignment. Yo, bro, I could go.
Yeah. He had bars, man.
Fire.
What was that? I remember that beef with LL Cool J. It was like, you remember that?
Second round knockout.
Yeah, second round knockout. I'm gonna let the world know the truth. You don't want me to shine. You study my rhyme, then you lace your vocals after mine. That's a bitch move. Something that rapper would do. Yeah, remember that. So when you say rapping, you're only dropping clues. I studied your album, read your book that you wrote, researched your footnotes about how you used to sip coke, fronting like you a drug-free role model. You disgust me. I know bitches that see you smoke weed recently.
Yo, when we heard that in the streets, we was like, yo, what the fuck? But we can get into this personally, but I actually think LL Cool J beat him in a very disrespectful way.
But LL Cool J was dirty in the game. He wasn't about clean wins. He wasn't playing footsies, bro. He was dirty. He was as dirty as they come. You think you're getting free? No. So we know the story, and Canibus got shafted. Canibus was set to be one of the greatest of all time, but career-wise, he got the short end of the stick. They made sure he wouldn't shine, and they, they were seated in positions to kind of secure themselves. LL Cool J along with some others, maybe a little bit of Eminem down the line as well, getting some of that. But they destroyed him. They literally, in what you can do to the caliber of a man on the microphone, they destroyed him because they didn't give him space to be the person he should have been. They gave him a profile that he had to fight against. And if you can make someone waste enough time, they don't get the opportunity they're supposed to get. If you create enough obstacles, imagine I'm like, yo, come to my house. And along the way to my house, I just put cones. I put like loads of tripwires and shit. Like I make it as hard as possible for you to arrive at my house. You know what I'm saying? All the cow traps and shit on this road. You ain't driving. If I keep putting obstacles in front of you from your house to my house, one, it's going to take you longer to my house, and after a certain point, you're no longer thinking about the destination. You're thinking about avoiding the obstructions and obstacles I've been putting. And this is what it is. If you keep putting enough diss tracks out, people have to spend so much time like getting around that they don't even get to the record deal, because so much of their reputation can be soiled in that process. And all kinds of stuff. You might not even get to the table because they just screw your deal. Like they'll make sure that the certain people you're meant to come into contact with just that doesn't happen, So yeah, it's a lot of shady stuff, a lot of backdoor under the table nonsense, like so.
Yo, Dominion and Cremo, that'll put a smile on their face.
So Canibus is that guy. Canibus, he was from the future. Way back when I was coming up listening to bars, like he was the first guy that said, yo, I'm gonna do 100 bars. Like what? Real? Like that's 100. Like he just had a different kind of inspiration. He was the guy like, I want to do something no one's done. What can I do? Right, let me do this.
Yeah, that was different, bro. And it's crazy because that song 100 bars, we still have it on a Marvel mix to this day.
Yeah.
You can make like custom
yeah. That tune was heavy. Dun, 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 dun,
you got Magnetos coming at each other like, yeah, that's the best right. Who will survive? Like,
deep. Fire. Number 4. I mean, that Biggie Nas Canibus order, you could shuffle that around as well based on X and Y, right? They're all up there. Number 4, my friend, Papoose. Papoose. That guy is not talked about enough. That guy is
crazy.
What?
No, you know what's crazy? You said Papoose. I was gonna mention him actually, not in my top 5, but I thought he was the reincarnation of Big L when he first dropped, bro.
Kind of.
I heard his voice. I'm like, yo, is that L? I'm like, is that you? The one that the song that put me on to Papoose was when he did the beat. He did the song over Victory. Remember?
Yeah.
And Alphabetical Slaughter. That's when I found out. Like,
yes.
Right after,
Yes. Yeah. Alphabetical Slaughter reminded me of Ebonics. That's the same shit, right? That's that. That goes hand in hand. So yeah, no, definitely with that, man. Definitely, they both had that same idea with that. Papoose does one tune on police brutality, and he goes through, like, he says bare names like Eric Garner. He goes through names of people that have just been. And like how they died. Like, this guy got his spinal cord severed. Like, it's really brutal. But when I heard that song, it really touched me because that was the time we were going through the George Floyd scenario. So it was a really deep seated situation where everything was just sitting on the pulse of that situation in society, and you couldn't touch anything. Everything was sizzling hot on this subject. Like, it was like, no, and so then he drops that tune, and it's just like, or at least that's when I came into contact with that tune, And it really resonated with me, man, that you're just living in such a world where you have no control, and there's a strong strain of fear that's being spread throughout the community. You know, it's like a new flu virus. It's just this new fear thing that's going through, and you're not safe on the streets, and blah, 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 blah. You can't go here. If there's problems, you can't call the police. You know how wild that is? If you're in an altercation, you cannot call the police to get protected because they're coming. That's mad. Who are you meant to call? Like, that's crazy. The people that you're supposed to be able to call in any circumstances when there's trouble, you actually cannot call them. That's wild, man. You know, there's this guy, like, I think he starts getting, you know, insulted by some white guys, and you know, it's in like a snooker club, and they're like, you know, eating and having a few drinks and that, and then, you know, it starts getting a bit rowdy. So, you know, the girlfriend, the black guy's girlfriend, says, you know, maybe we should call the police, you know. And I don't know why they didn't just leave. I think there's a bit more to it than that. I think they kind of, like, their friends run the place, you know, so they didn't want them to get like the place to get vandalized and stuff like that. So anyway, they call the police. When the police show up, the white guys start changing the story, and the police arrest the black dude. And it's like, we called you though. We called you. You know, what are you doing? You know, and I can't remember what happens at the end. It doesn't really get like super violent or anything, but, and I know situations that have done, you know, we've all been on social media long enough to see clips, right? But yeah, this was one of the ones that was kind of PG. But yeah, it's like, they came down and arrested the black couple, the black woman and the black guy, and then they took them away.
Actually called the police.
That actually called them. So yeah, it's crazy. These things happen all the time. And the thing is, then you start investigating, because you're like, I can't believe everyone is not as shocked as I am. And then when you dive deeper, you realize this happens all the time. All the time. It's horrible.
What's crazy, like, just to like touch up on it, it's crazy. This is off of a Papoose song that you heard that we're talking about.
Yeah, I know, man.
Too much, but like, I actually know great human beings that are policemen, you know what I'm saying? So like,
right.
Grew up in the struggle and stuff like. So if anything, like, obviously I feel bad for, you know.
Yeah, we ain't talking about them. We ain't talking about them though.
No, I know that.
We're talking about those guys.
Just throwing it more so like I feel bad for, you know, my friends that are good cops that you know, have to deal with that stigma of that picture that's painted, because there is a good high percentage of some shitty policemen, you know what I'm saying, off of just racial shit alone. But not even to delve deep into it, but just, you know, it's stuff like that, like, you know, that stresses my homies that are cops, that just like, yo, I can't believe like these piss of shits be doing this. Like, it makes me feel like awful to be a policeman. So like, I understand.
So you know, for those watching, you may want to be interested in the song. It's called Tribute. It's by Papoose. You know, it talks about Amadeo Diallo, Betty Jones, Cornelius Brown, Dominic Fuller, Eric Garner, Emmett Till, poor little kid, Freddie Gray, George Floyd, of course, Hector Morellion. Like, there's crazy people mentioned in here. He tributes to a lot of people. He goes through the entire alphabet and he tributes people that have been killed at the mercy of police brutality, you know, and well, lack of mercy. Yeah, and it's horrible, but it's real. It's real life, and you know, and I'm glad that he touches on these things, you know. And that's just a few names that are in the song that I mentioned, which is, you know, I didn't know about a lot of these, and hearing the song made me learn about a few more, and you know, and it's like, oh, what's that story? And then you kind of read up on it and you learn, oh my God, that's terrible, you know. But this is real life, and if we're ever going to be in a position to educate the youth that come after us, we're going to have to educate ourselves. We're going to have to know about these things, and not everything in life is going to be a bed of roses, even though we might like that, you know. So the stronger you can be is going to be someone who's educated and physically capable. So we can deal with some of that for our younger, you know, brethren, younger boys and girls that are growing up in society today, whether you're white, black, Indian, Chinese, whatever, right, Martian. You need to know what you know. So yeah, but yeah, it's called Tribute for you guys. Anyone interested? Papoose, Google it, YouTube it, Vevo it, wherever, it's out there. So yeah, music, Papoose, man. Papoose. And number five, purely based on the influence he had on me growing up in high school. So I mentioned that Nas was like my college years, a bit later on, but before that, it was Method Man, Wu-Tang Clan. Method Man, he was just that whole Tikal joint, like Ice Cream. Like, I just got tunes in my head, man. Wu-Tang Clan and Method Man, they just had such a big influence on me growing up.
Yo, let me hit you with a
more
from back-ended day, son. So first off, I bought the Tikal album. My favorite song on the first Tikal album was "When I First Stepped on the Scene."
Back to the light.
That was my shit, right?
Yeah. That was sick. That was just the intro as well. Then it goes in. Yeah.
Keep it moving. That shit was hard.
That was sick.
That's called Release Your Delf.
Okay. Yeah. Now that was a tune. Still, that was a tune.
I'm sorry to even interrupt you.
Oh, good. No.
I actually love his Judgment Day album, which is fire. Anyway,
So yeah,
the thing about Method Man that's so cool.
Yeah.
He was so gritty and he was so unique with his
flow.
This is when I knew he was like really about it. When he made with Mary J. Blige, I'm like, holy shit, this guy can talk to the girls too. Now, mind you, at the time, like, you know, I'm from the hood. You know what I'm saying? Like, all of my beautiful ladies in the hood. You know, shout out to all my beautiful ladies. They they grinded to inspire to be who they want to inspire, but like. That love, that hood love that's there, that they down for you, they ride for you and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That was really a real thing. So like Method Man, from all the tracks that he made, and he actually switched it up to where he can actually drop down to that level and really talk to a female, but in the way where we so used to Method Man, how he speaks and spits. That shit was gangster. He had the fucked up hair. I was just like, yo, bruh.
Yeah.
And I love Mary J. Blige.
Yeah, she was sick.
Her passes in the hood is crazy, bro.
Sick.
I'm talking about anywhere she goes, they're like, all right, let's Mary J. Blige step aside for the queen.
Yeah.
For the queen, like she was one of those. But I seen her plenty of times actually in my neighborhood with the locks and stuff like that. So yeah, man.
So.
Method Man.
So that would be the 5, but I want to also say, because this is a man that came into my life much later, much later than all of these, and we're already at college when I'm with Nas, right? But after college, I would say, I came into heavy contact with Big Pun. Big Pun. And this man flipped the script with just the bars, the punches, the similes. He just was also uniquely in his own space of quality and skill, and yeah baby, Capital Punishment, like that Capital Punishment album was OD. Every track. How do you make an album where every track is fire? How do you do that? Like the Dream Shatterer, like he has
that's my joint.
Yeah, he had tunes for days. Yeah, because he could do that. He could talk to the ladies. He could do that serious shit. He could do that gangster shit where you're like afraid of him, That Beware track, bruv, you're not starting any beef with that guy. After you hear Beware, you're not starting any nonsense with that guy.
Yeah, bro. I gave you fair warning, and it was a Prodigy. Yo, let me tell you something. So I come from that era of New York, like coming up very young and stuff like that, bro. I would hear stories about how much Pun was respected in his hood, in my neighborhood, from the OGs, dude. Like this shit is serious. Like obviously I'm a young kid hearing all this shit, we're hearing these tracks, like people, there was always that one guy that actually knew like Pun personally or just been around him and stuff like that. They would have stories like, yo, bro, you know how much respect Pun got in the BX, bro? Like this shit is fucking crazy. I was in such and such block, and when he pulled up, everybody just made sure that he had his space and he did his thing and stuff like that. That was the same thing with Fat Joe, man. Fat Joe was very heavily respected in the hood, man, back in the day. Like this shit is crazy, bro. Like me talking about it, like the way I'm talking about it, you would think that like I'm in the hip hop community. Like, this is like some like real like street shit. Like man, Joey Crack, you know what I'm saying? And stuff like this shit is real, bro. This is real.
Yo, that Beware joint, I warned you. Now all this could do is mourn you, man. I'm born to kill. I'm still thrilled to put it on you. Like they had the flow. The flow was so sick, man. He just kept it going. And the thing is, the beats as well were so cold. Like you're like, ooh.
That shit was it was like I'll give you fair warning. I'm like, yo, right now.
Yeah. I'm hearing that tune. I was like, yo, this is ridiculous.
Man. Yeah, man.
So I'll put a special shout out for Big Pun in there as well. I know, like, whatever happened with him happened and that, but yeah, like I put him in there, man, because he came later. I was b-boying in them times, and he came into my life. My teacher, my sensei, shout out to Pervez. He brought me into the loop with Big Pun, Fat Joe and Big Pun, and he was like, we were in his car, we were driving to a jam. He's like, yo, check this out, and you put on he put on Leatherface, and I was like, what's this? Yo, let's go. And yeah, that was just every track after that. I was like, yo, put the next one on. What's the next one?
Yo, Ryan Hart's brownie points is something fierce. You know when you win in Street Fighter 5, you just see the ranking points go. The shit's just going up right now. Just here, Ryan.
Yeah.
So shout out to your sensei. That means he not only taught you well, but influenced you well.
Definitely.
Now,
a lot. Yeah.
Since you're doing little like extras, not so we could drag this off. So it's crazy because I was so much of a Nas fan that I didn't want to hear Jay-Z, right? But with age, I actually respect his bars a lot more as I matured.
Jay-Z
and stuff like that. Yes.
Yeah. Right.
Not in terms of bars, like in terms of putting the words together. It's just he was really talking some grown man shit.
Yeah, we were too young to understand.
Yeah,
we didn't get it at the time.
You know what I mean? I'm like, man, fuck Rockefeller, man, fuck Rockefeller. Like, I was on that shit, you know what I mean? It dropped, my man, fuck those guys. And it's crazy because I had the Memphis Bleak coming of age album, so there was a couple of subliminals there when it was this and Nas and shit like that. But yeah, I was on that. But man, fuck those guys. But obviously, like as I get older and I hear shit like what song was that? It was in Lifestyles. Was it Volume? I actually have the album. But it was like Lifestyles or some Lifetimes or some shit they called. I forgot what it was. Volume. I think it was Volume 3. Yeah. There was a song called Hova Song. The way that he explained himself as the intro was freaking fire. You know what I'm saying? But like all in all, I respect him more not only as a man but as a businessman. Like he really came from shit. You know what I'm saying? So like that's one thing. I got more respect for Jigga now. Obviously Big L. He's on that like Mount Rushmore kind of shit for me. Like, he's actually like that ridiculous. Because you said New York rappers, I didn't mention Big L, but it was only because I feel like he's on that ascension level with Nas. So like it was pretty hard, like put him in the 5. Because again, my 5 was based on how I got influenced into hip hop.
Yeah,
overall.
that makes
like,
sense.
What made me
that's same with me.
Like, oh my god, these were the guys. Yeah, these were the guys. You know. Yeah.
So that's it. Episode done. Hope you enjoyed that. Let us know in the comments what your top 5 from New York hip-hop artists of all time would be. I'd love to read you guys. Subscribe, like, hit that notification bell as you know how it goes. And, I want to keep bringing you guys this cool stuff, man. This cool content. I want to keep the channel growing. So please support and be a part of the movement. Take care, guys. See you next time.